Well, here we are, a little more formal than usual, but after all, it is Easter Sunday, 2023. And I think appropriately enough, I want to talk briefly about miracles. Before you tune out, I'm not going to get into a long sermon here, although there will be some spirituality exchanged back and forth. Planting a seed, that's a lot of what I want to do. And I see a connection between all of the aspects of our lives. So there you have a bit of a defense if I drift or when I drift into that area. So what's a miracle? How do you define one? I think most of us would see a miracle as something supernatural, that it involve an event, an observation, some kind of a change for the better that we can't explain in any other way. We couldn't do it ourselves, and maybe we believe other people couldn't either. So the combination of circumstances that lead to this positive outcome are easy to wrap up under the title of a miracle. Ordinarily, people would attribute miracles to divine intervention, and I think that's fair enough. I certainly do too. But maybe where I would differ a bit is how we define the term with respect to that divine intervention. In other words, on the one hand, if it's going to be a flash of lightning from the sky, a bolt of thunder, and all of a sudden something great happens, obviously, if I were to observe that, I really haven't in 72 plus years of living, that would be very impressive to me and would count as a bona fide miracle. But when I think about it, there are so many other examples in my own life, and I certainly believe in yours, and at least hope so, that would also count, that are not as overtly dramatic, but nonetheless as significant. Now, how do I come to that? And again, we're going to merge spirituality and physiology, the physical, practical world, together. Human beings are tools, are not puppets, but I think tool is a fair word to use, of the divine. We are invited to share in our skills, our compassion, most importantly, our knowledge, our time, and our money to advance the interests of others. And when we do that, to them, depending on their situation, it could very well be a miracle in their lives. And in that context, we become partners with God in advancing a miracle, or when the shoe is on the other foot, in receiving one. Think again, and I can, especially recently. I'm undergoing a treatment for a disease that could shorten my life considerably, and just getting my head around that has been difficult. But I'm getting there, and to me, that evolution of thinking is somewhat miraculous. Rather than being panicky and absolutely obsessed by it, I'm gradually able to incorporate this possible reality with the rest of my life. I sincerely hope and pray today that you're not faced with that necessity. But who knows what the future holds for any of us, and we may be. Just be knowing that if this ever becomes an issue for you, you too will have the opportunity to maybe go down that bumpy road, but emerge on the other side with some smooth concrete. Depending upon your own personality, I suppose, that could be under the definition of a miracle. Certainly, I'm pretty headstrong. I'm a stubborn man in many instances. Being able to admit that, some might say, is a miracle. But getting past it certainly is one. And I think we have to be patient with the process, not expect it to always be a bolt of lightning and a sound of thunder, those kinds of dramatic, instant changes for the better. I hope for one. I mean, I'd love that. But one of the reasons I guess I would is because I am often impatient, and I think, okay, let's have it. Let's get the fix on. But understanding that it often and usually is going to be a longer process than that, And it may very well involve me not just sitting on my hands, but participating in it. Again, one of the appeals of the big dramatic instant miracles is we don't have to do anything but ask for it and watch it happen. That's kind of cool when you think about it, but generally speaking, we do have a role to play in modern day miracles. And when we do that, we have a chance not only for growth, which is important, but also to experience the answer to whatever it is we're asking for, however that petition is put forward. So think today, Easter Sunday 2023, a day of true miracles, if you are of the Christian tradition, as am I. He is risen. He is risen indeed. And that, of course, not only provides evidence of overcoming the most terminal of events in human existence, but providing a way beyond it that everybody has an opportunity for. So that certainly counts as a pretty important miracle. But on Easter, we also have a chance to talk about miracles that we can receive on perhaps a different plane and contribute to, importantly, contribute to. We've talked in earlier visits about our life purpose, and honestly, if you frame it in that way, that becomes part of it. What can I do today, not just to get the miracle that I'm hoping for, but to advance one for someone else? When I can do that, I can get past all of the selfishness, all of the fear, all of the horrible events that I'm hearing about every day in Atlanta or around this country. If I look far enough, they're going on around the world. And yet, we have hope for a better life, for a good life, in the company of people who love us. And we don't know all of those people, or we need not know all of them. We can love them whether we know them or not, especially if we do know them, of course, and thereby experience and advance a miracle. Let's do that. Thanks.